Hello, and welcome to our permanent home. AFTA's first home project here, as it were, is titled At Home. And it's my immense pleasure to welcome our curator, the wonderful and fascinating Shruti Parthasarathy, who has put this together. And today what we'll be doing is giving you a joint walkthrough, which is mainly Shruti telling us the academic side of things and me telling you why I bought the works. I think that's a good enough format. So over to Shruti and to the first section, as it were, of the show.
Maybe just backtrack a bit to tell them a little bit about the show itself. So it's called At Home, and the exhibition looks at various associations with home, meanings, but also connotations, and our associations of the word home, and through the works of some remarkable artists. So this is our first section, and this is artists that have responded to, the built structure, buildings, the house, really. Artists who are looking at form, the building in space. So you have drawings here. This is like Ratin Burman's drawings, interior drawings. Very interesting. They have graphite, also concrete and brass inlay works. This sculpture is by the same artist. This is, I think, quite self-explanatory, but also it says notes on lived spaces, so it's possibly personal. This is this lovely little and very delicate and fragile sculpture is by Pooja Iranna, and it's made of staple pins, and it's called Pervasive Mushrooming, and examines urbanization, rapid growing urbanization, fragility, shelter, these ideas. This is also by Ratin Burman, and you can see these explorations of form here, geometric forms, and geometric is what primarily built structures use, and you can see planes and contours, volume, and linked with this is the experience, the lived experience of a home, of a house or a building, and so this is a really remarkable etching, and I think aquatint, if I'm not wrong, by A. Balasubramaniam.
I think with Balasubramaniam, it's always a little difficult to sell exactly what materials are at play. Some very interesting,
very unusual. That's true. And this has a title. It says Window 9B. So it suggests an address. Could be a neighbor's. It has this the sense of looking at a neighboring flat, the light, how we live in these spaces. This lovely little zinc plate is by Ayushi Panchal, and it's of the remembered childhood home in a Bombay, with cramped spaces but very fondly remembered. So you have hands that are holding the home as opposed to how the house encloses you. Clearly very personal, and has some lovely things which I'll let Jaiveer point out.
I had a very interesting chat with Ayushi when I got this work from the Kochi Students' Biennale, as a matter of fact, and she had done these lovely etchings, and it's an hour or two too late to get them. They were actually fans, entire zinc plates made of zinc, plates made of the fan and with a motor, so it would actually rotate on its own. But this work, we welcome you to touch it, to feel it. And it talks about her home, which is being redeveloped. It's a chawl which is getting into redevelopment. So how she spent time, not only in her own home, but also in the homes of the neighbors, because it was all kind of a lived, shared community. And that community is going to be lost and is going to be replaced by a high-rise, which perhaps will be more comfortable, perhaps may even have air conditioning versus just having a fan. But there will be that kind of sense of loss of that lived home.
And it's part then also connects to the larger narrative of the way urbanization is happening, of gentrification of central spaces in our big cities, and in Mumbai in particular. Chawls that were really for mill workers are now being massively demolished. There's just hardly any left. And like Jaiveer mentioned, the spaces may be small, but they offered a wider community of neighbors, a shared living, which is definitely
the communal living.
Yes, indeed.
And I just wanted, before we end it, to speak about Pooja's work, because Pooja Iranna's work, though it's called Pervasive Mushrooming, I remember this conversation suddenly after we were speaking. I think this was a conversation I had with, I didn't remember, with her or with Iranna. And it's also about the fact that even though the materiality on this is concrete and steel, the steel that she's used is staple pins, which are very fragile. So it's also the concept of a home, though it is very, very concrete. The house is concrete, but the home is fragile. So that's the difference between what you can talk about this being made of concrete and steel, but the emotion that makes it home can be extremely fragile, much like a staple pin.
This section of the home as an external, so to speak, the city, built space, any kind of dwelling, ends here with this remarkable painting. I think it's a watercolor wash by V.S. Gaitonde, who's best known for his remarkably large canvases of often monochromes, still one single color, inspired by Zen. The works evoke great tranquility, exploration of texture and pigment, and those really started in the 70s. And this is remarkable, part of a small series that have recently come to light, correct? And that's how you...
I mean, they've been known for a while, but they've been recently offered outside the collector's home,
right, okay.
Which was a director of Larsen & Toubro who had bought these from Gaitonde. And so then they came up. I mean, a few have gone into auction, a few have been acquired over a period of time. But yes, they do hark back to the point at which I think Gaitonde was still very much in Bombay.
Yes.
And I think you can see that kind of almost moss green kind of exploration of color and wash. But even this work, the more you look at it, is very monochromatic. I mean, there is only the use of the two colors, I take it, or probably just one color which has been washed out in places.
Exactly. And yes, the black, which is of very clearly discernible forms of the city skyline. But unlike the Bombay skyline, even by the 60s, which was, really packed, they blend into the surrounding atmosphere. They have the same quality of perhaps the tranquility of his other works. And so this is from just before he moved to those works, which in the 70s. So when I saw this, very curious how you happened to come across these. What made you...
Well, I've always admired Gaitonde's practice. This particular work for me honestly didn't evoke the cityscape when I bought it. As a matter of fact, once the book on that series of works was published, it's been called Cityscape there. And I think it fit in quite well with our own theme at home here. But for me, I think this was perhaps the genesis of the kind of Zen works, right? There is a sense of deep tranquility in this work, which is what appealed to me. So I didn't look at it as a cityscape at all. I just looked at it almost in terms of what he did with writing and the kind of abstraction of the writing. So for me, it was what was, I think, precursor to those.
These forms look
almost the starting of the non-objectivist kind of work that he called it. He didn't call his work abstraction, as you well know.